Michelle, are we ready to go? Are you ready to go live on Friday?
Yes, I'm good. Are we ready? We ready to pop some shit off?
Yeah. I'm saying you ready to launch on Friday?
I am. I'm super nervous, but since I had the last conversation with you guys, I've been like busting ass to just get like little kinks and things out and just kind of like not perfect it, but just make sure that everything is in place for the pre-launch for Friday and then release on next Wednesday. I'm really, really excited. And then also I took a leap of faith once again and I started honing in more on cleaning coaching. And the response to that has just been so
Oh.
overwhelming. Like I'm in awe, like honestly. Like I'm just like, wait, okay. Like this is dope as shit. So I'm in the process of that. And then I'm in the process of actually hiring on another admin because one thing, delegation. I can't handle tedious tasking. I don't have the time. Like no matter what I do, I'm becoming too boggled up in things that just I can just source out. So that's what I'm working on right now is getting an intern in, getting another admin on board and sourcing because I feel like in Florida we're like allowed to go outside, and when you have so many different ventures going on at one time, it's just if you don't have good organization to those things, it'll spiral out of control. So it was kind of coming out of my fingertips, but I had to grab onto it real quick and get everything back. All eggs are back in the basket. So it's just one of those things, learning how to pivot and just staying on top of the game, like identifying when there's an issue, like before it becomes an issue. Like you can start to see the processes and how they skip. And once you see that first trend, you got to like attack it because having so many different things, it'll just be a shit show. So
How old are you? I don't know if we asked you that question last time.
I'm 27. I'll be 28 in June.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a Gemini baby. So yeah,
And
I'm excited. I'm excited about that too.
is that natural blonde hair or do you dye it, bleach it?
No, I literally dye my hair like every 4 to 5 days. I have to bleach it. It's
Normally it's
actually
black.
turning. You see how dark it is right now? It's actually
Yeah.
going back dark. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
blonde.
looking, I was like, her hair is always blonde. I don't know if it's always that color, if it's natural or what's going on.
No, it's not. It's definitely not natural. Your eyebrows are typically what your natural color are.
Oh,
So the thing
interesting.
is, with short, my hair used to be really long. So when I cut it all off, and I was dark for a while, and then after I had my son, I was like, I need to look different, and I went platinum. So I was gray, and that was a hit. And then I just slowly started going like bleach blonde, and it just kind of stuck. I went red. I did go back red, and I was like, no, 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 no. So this has like been my trademark, and I like it because when I network, people remember me because I'm the blonde bald head girl. Like
Mhm.
they'll find me on Facebook, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, you were that one girl." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the only blonde head girl that's bald." So it's like kind of like my trademark now. So, but
What's
yeah,
going on,
it's
Raphael? How have things
short
been,
hair.
man?
Mm-mm.
Things are good, man.
I feel like we don't talk to
Think-
you enough, man. We don't ever really talk to Raphael enough and find out what's going on with Raphael. We always talk
And you
about me
should because he has
and
a
the
lot.
guests.
He's cool.
Yeah. What's going on, Raphael?
um, I like being private, but
You
I'll
got a
tell you,
podcast now, man.
I know, man. It's tricky. It's tricky. What I got going on right now? Doing some work with Michelle here, trying to help her launch the course and this group that she's got going on. Let's see, trying to boost the affiliate sales. And
Pretty
then
soon your
somebody's
affiliate
reaching
sales
out.
are going to surpass your working income if they haven't already.
Nah, not yet. And
Not yet.
I got job recruiters like buzzing my phone every other day.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're
That
gonna do
word
about
makes me
that.
feel weird.
Job,
It
job.
gives me anxiety. I'm like, wait,
Man.
what? Oh man.
No, I was talking to somebody on Twitter and they were telling me like they had to pull back from launching one of their products because somebody told them if their job found out, they could fire them. And that's when I tweeted, like, I hate jobs. Like, I can't stand that. Like, the idea that another person can tell you, no, you can't make more money, you can only make money through us is just insane to me. And they're out there, they got multiple ventures going. They're not over here just only getting money from this business.
You know, and that's really a big reason why I don't like corporate America, is because it's like there's always a window, there's always a cap, there's always a ceiling. And for people like ourselves, it's just like, first of all, what you're not gonna do is tell me that I can't make $1 million. So that's that. And I just feel like even on my slow days, or even on days where I'm not motivated, it's just like I'm still doing what I love to do. So that trumps everything, like regardless. But
100%.
I don't know, man, that job, that word is just gross. It's weird. It makes me feel icky.
I feel like we focus too much on money and we lose sight of like all the other perks that are the reason why you go into business. Like money is just a byproduct. Like you get to do what you enjoy doing. You get to work with who you enjoy working with. You get to work on your time. You get to be your boss. Nobody's telling you what to do. Nobody's looking over your shoulder, telling you that you took a lunch that's too long, or all these different things that like are so much more beneficial than just like having money to buy things. Having the ability to create jobs for other people, having the ability to determine what their wages are. Like, it's just crazy to me that there's
that's like a really that's a big thing, because so one of the things that I coach my clients for cleaning coaching on is how to pay their workers. And a lot of them struggle with doing pay for performance or doing hourly. And in the cleaning industry, it's like, it's really hard, in my opinion, because I have some clients that like to do hourly work, and then I have some that do per job. I like per job because I feel like you can't put an hourly rate on something like that. I can go into a house and I can clean a house in an hour and a half that would take someone else 3 hours to do, because I've been doing it. So I don't feel like there's a $25, $30, like that's because I'm going to be done in 2 hours and be like, all I got was $80. Like, no. Right. So it's like, it's always a toss up, because it's just like, no, you're worth more. You could do more. If you have more experience, why are you putting an hourly bracket on yourself? And then there goes the tables are turned, and it's just like, well, I want more money in my pocket. I want more profits. I want more money. And it's like, when you set yourself up, and I tweeted about this the other day, relationships. I got to where I'm at because I built relationships with people. They were comfortable with me enough to say, I've not used her services, but she works with integrity. She's credible. She's this, she's that, she's valuable. So it's allowed other people to trust me just off of the word of a friend of theirs. So building those relationships, and I teach that to my clients. I spit that game out all the time. Stop chasing the money. Chase your vision. Chase the things that have to do with that. Chase to be around the right people, to be in the right rooms. When you are given the opportunity to work with specific people, that's all you need. Like, let's say, for example, if I started working with you, whether it been mentoring, whatever the case, and I was able to say that Todd Capital is one of my clients, like that in itself speaks volume. When some of my followers saw that I was doing the podcast with you, they were like, oh my God, how did you start working with it? And I was just like, listen, I'm fangirling too, but this has been a relationship built on Twitter. So get on Twitter, because that's where you can really connect with people, like, you know, without having to slide into the DM. You can literally just connect with them. It's a one and done. And then you don't feel that awkward, like, what if they don't answer and they look at my message? Like, there's just so many different things. So I don't know. I feel like relationship trumps everything.
Raphael, what do you think? Money or the other stuff?
I mean, my initial thought with the job thing was to get a new job paying, because some of them paying, they're offering like a nice good chunk. So my thing is, okay, I can use that extra income, so I'll keep my living expenses pretty low. I don't need much more. I use that to fund the stuff I really want to do. You know, but then I start thinking about the time. Like, I've got a pretty good schedule right now. I work long hours, but I work only 3 days a week. So then I think that somebody else is going to have me go 5 days a week. Like, well,
see, you're in a different situation because you have like the convenience of being able to work that job 3 days a week and still have your freedom. So I mean, that could definitely be considered like another source of income. You know, I know Charles, like you're still a lawyer, you still work for your firm. However, you still do all of the things that you do because it's just another source of income and security. A lot of people that I find when they want to take like the entrepreneur journey or work for themselves, they're concerned about having a savings because everyone's drilled into their head, you need to have 6 months of savings, you need to have this, you need to have that. And it's like, but there's people that didn't have that savings, that didn't have that security blanket. When I started my company, I literally walked away from security with a newborn baby, with a 4-year-old. And I didn't have much of a plan. I just knew what I wanted to do. I didn't have tons of money.
Do you think that kind of gave you the push and the sense of urgency to really get after it?
Yeah, it did. That's what really lit the fire under my ass, because the day that I decided to no, walking away from my job. That was
Okay.
Yeah, because on July 11, 2017, I woke up and I was like, I'm not going to work for anybody ever again. And I have, like, literally. And at that time, I was still breastfeeding Trey, so I was like really emotional because it was like I gotta leave my baby and pump milk in a room. Like, it was so awkward to me. It was just I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I woke up and I was like, I'm not going to work anymore. My parents were like, do you? And at that point, that day, I was immediately on the phone, cold calling. It just woke up a beast in me. And gratefully, that beast has it's just gotten worse, like better. Like,
the thing is, a lot of people are so focused on the 0 number instead of focused on the unlimited number. So it's like, think about it. You leave a job, but now there's no ceiling. So yeah, you potentially could fall into 0, but you could also leap into millions. You could also leap into abundance.
That's what it is. Because they're like, oh, I get, every 2 weeks I'm getting $1,200. But without thinking, like, every other day I could get $1,200. Or it's just like, since they don't know they're getting that exact number, they're not willing to bet on themselves. And it's just like, you don't know how, like, but this is for certain people. You'll light that fire under your ass when you have rent due, when you got kids to take care of, like when you have things that have to be taken care of. I don't know. For me, it was just like, either you're going to make it work or you're going to make it work. Like, I didn't have any other option, so I just jumped, and now I'm like, and I failed, but whatever.
And it's also a different kind of work at that point in time, because now it's like, you're working, but you're working for yourself. It's like we always talk about. It's like when you do something for yourself and your family, it doesn't feel like work, but you're still getting paid for it. And you're probably getting paid more than what you'd be getting paid for hourly wage. And so it's like on a Saturday night, you might be up doing something. On a Sunday morning, you might be up doing something, and you're still getting paid for it. And it's not a burden. And I feel like when you attach money to jobs, it becomes burdensome. And so then the effort money becomes burdensome. And so then you make less money.
No, and that's true, because there's been plenty of times where I've gotten clients and their entitlement, because of the money that they've paid, they feel like they're entitled to more than what it is. And it's just like, listen, you're a paying customer just like everybody else is. And I can also refund your money just like everybody else. So if you can't, follow my policies and procedures, which I noticed that the reason why there's a lot of lack of respect for consumer to business owner is because they don't have regulations in their business, or they're not setting precedents. So it's just like, for example, if I'm like, my minimum for cleaning is 2 hours, and someone's like, well, I only need an hour. Well, it's like, then you're not my client, because I only do a minimum of 2 hours. So you can go somewhere else that would accommodate that. And it's just like, if more people understood that, yeah, you may need the money, but you need to respect your business and respect what you got going on, then you can accommodate that group by adding additional cleaning services that only are for an hour job of just setting up a room or doing linens or doing laundry. So it's just making sure that there's that understanding in the beginning, policies and procedures. Like, when people know, when they buy your course, they know what they're getting. They know that they can get a refund if it doesn't work for them. Like, they know those things. And when you enforce that and set it in place, there's no room for negotiation and no headaches.
You just kind of hit on another 2 things that are dope about being a business owner. And the first is you get to kind of work with clients that you don't want. And then if you don't want to work with them, you can always cut them off. And the other is that you have the creativity to create things. And when you work a job, you don't really have the creativity, which can kind of be disempowering. But when you can just say, like, you know what, I'm going to launch this. I'm going to launch it on this day for this price, and it's going to consist of this. That is empowering, man. So,
and it's very empowering, and it's also a really good structure and way that people can set their goal for how much they want to make. It's like reverse engineering. So if you need to set up, let's say, for example, your business budget, and you know that you want to make 6 figures a year, all right, how many products can you put in place to be a certain amount of money, so that if you sell 10 of them, you know that you'll make this amount of money. So that's actually how I do it. If I'm like, okay, this week needs to be a $5,000 week or whatever, in whatever business, I'm like, I need to sell this many cleanings, or I need to sell this many courses, or I need to book this many consultations to make this amount. And that's how I know this week, this is what I'm going to market. This is how I'm going to do this. Like, and I've kind of just found a flow, and that's how I work. I'm like, okay, well, I want to buy this. I need 6 more clients of this, this, and this to get to that point.
Yeah.
And it works for some people. For me, it does.
The cool thing is there are customers out there for you. So it's important to not focus on the people that you know and the people that you are in your immediate circle, and start creating some things for people that you might not yet know. And that's one of the things that I was thinking about. It's like back in the day, I said, you know what? I'm going to create this one-on-one long distance real estate investing thing. And I put it out there, and then I pulled it back. But I had like 20, 25 people that were interested in it. And I was like, man, I was going to charge them $250 a month. 20 people, that's $4,500 a month. That's not bad, just for one thing that I'm already doing. I already have the contacts, and I kind of pulled back on it, but it kind of made me think, like, you start putting things in place that just take out certain things for you. So it's like, you need to take care of that student loan program, create a product, and then how many times you have to sell that product. It's like Chris says all the time, like, don't think in terms of money for hours worked. Think about it as product sold. So Raphael, like, man, what's going on, Raphael? We need some tweets.
Well, yeah, man. So Charles, you said we don't acquire income because we need it to pay living expenses. We do it because it's the intelligent thing to do. I think that's how we already started off the show.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like my whole life. But I'm at a point now where it's like, you got to continue to buy assets just because. You got to continue to buy income just because. A lot of times we're out here like, oh, I need to get passive income to meet my living expenses. And we don't realize, like, sometimes you just got to get income for the sake of having income, and just because it's an intelligent way to invest. And so I don't want to always be in the rat race, but I don't want to be in a situation where, like, my income plateaus. And so it's just always being hungry, always being aggressive, always going out there, making more money, even if you don't necessarily need it, just because we know how to do it, just because it works. So that's kind of where that mindset was. You need more income than you think you need.
I like that mindset. That's how you stay paid and get paid and continue to keep going. Like, seriously, you need all the income you can get.
Yeah. You also say, Charles, I rock with winners. I do not rock with one-uppers.
That was a long time ago, man. That was a throwback tweet.
I know.
That probably was relative to something that was said on the timeline. But one thing that I did say today, and I was talking about just how dope it is to work with women. And I was talking about how, like, when you work with women, it's just mission oriented. It's not ego oriented. And I've just experienced that. Like, the way I came up with this is Sierra sent me a DM, and Sierra's like, hey, I'm getting a lot of people that are asking me to affiliate for your product. How about this? I'll create a spreadsheet for you, and I'll put all the people that want to be involved, and then all you have to do is go in there and copy and paste it. And I was like, a dude would never do that. Like, a dude's not just going to say, like, hey, let me help you be dope. But the thing is, if you help me be dope, I'm going to help you be dope. Like, Raphael, you help me be dope at the podcast, I'm going to help you be dope. I'm going to CC you on stuff. I'm going to promote you on stuff. I'm going to make sure people see you as much as they see me. And so I think that that's unfortunately where we are as a culture. As African-American men, we think we're competing. We think we have to do better than the next person. We think we have to, like, always, it's too much ego, it's too much competitiveness. And we got to chill on that stuff. We got to realize, like, you are not my competition. They are my competition. The people that are out there that are preventing other people from getting good jobs or for taking care of their family, they're the competition. Raphael's not the competition. We're on the same mission. And so that's just kind of where that was. Like, the one-upmanship, it's just, I've been around people who that has been the goal, and it's just non-productive.
Non-productive. That's crazy.
Michelle, you said, I can guarantee hating on me won't help you get a check. However, I can guarantee with my help, you can get a check. Choose your position wisely.
Yeah, I mean, you could either learn or you can watch. I mean, you're not going to get paid by trying to throw salt on me. You're just going to make more people come and see what I'm about. And the thing about a lie, or like when people try to say something to make you look something that you're not, people will always go searching for answers themselves. And the thing about character and reputation and credibility is that if you have one person throwing stones at you and everybody else is like, yo, like, good job, they're gonna sway to the side of the good job, and they're gonna see, like, they're gonna ask that person, like, what beef did you have? And they're gonna look like an idiot. Because for me, myself personally, I don't do bad business with people. I don't, like, even if it's a bad interaction, it can't even be a bad interaction because I always leave it. I don't have personal feelings attached to anything that I do. So with that being said, I'm able to see haters and just be like, I'd rather help you. Like, what can I do to help you? Do you need a job because I'm hiring? Or do you need assistance because, you know, I'm a coach? Like, how can I serve you? And people just, they still find something to hate on, and it's just really ridiculous. But I know who I am and I know what I offer, and my value against hating, it's not compatible. So you could either get a check or you could be a hater.
Right. I feel like it's a scarcity mentality, and it kind of frustrates me because we feel like there's not enough for everybody. We feel like there's, like, if Michelle's getting all the money, that means there's no money for me, and not realizing, like, bro, like, if I get close to Michelle making money, then I'm gonna make money. And that's the same thing that I realized with Chris. Like, they're hating on Chris, and I kind of made a connection with Chris, and now Chris helps me and I help Chris, and it all works out. And so for me, not hating on Chris and actually kind of sticking up for Chris, it's benefited me financially. And I feel like that's,
and hey, what more can you ask for?
Right. It's like, but the thing is, it was what frustrates me, and I'm gonna continue to talk about this, is every time we see somebody being successful, then we always attack it. But we're the same people who will tell people that we can't be successful because of racism, because of all these different isms. But we see success and we attack it. It's not them attacking it, it's us attacking it. And I can just run down the list. Every single person winning has somebody coming at them. And I tell people, like, from my personal experience, I've grown up in different circumstances, but I've also kind of dipped my toe into other circumstances. And I've seen that mentality, that mindset, that community, that environment does not produce productive people. And
it's like, honestly, it's so toxic because it's just like, it'll even turn friends against you because they just don't understand, like, how are you guys the same, not the same necessarily the level, but same age or same bracket or same scenario, but yet you're doing more, being more, and having more. Like, they just can't. And it's not even about, like, me, it's you, it's your projection, it's how you feel about yourself. And, you know, I hate to make it sound like we're aliens, but people like us, it's just like, we can't resonate with that because it's just like, even if I teach you something, I'm forever evolving. You're learning something that I've mastered. You don't even know what I got going on next. Like, you think that you got this and it's going to, like, blow up, but, like, baby girl, like, I'm up here. Like, you don't even get it. And that's my mentality. And, you know, I used to not have this confidence, but listen, like, I've busted my ass to get to where I'm at. So I don't allow people to take me, like, ma'am, like, I can hire you. Like, what do you want from me? Like, come on now. Don't play yourself.
Do you listen to B. Simone? Because that sounded real B. Simone-ish right there.
I don't listen to her, but I'm very much inspired by her. Like, I got a glimpse of her hitting $1 million in her bank account. I was right there crying with her because I was like, girl, that is going to be me. Like, I find that's amazing that someone, I guess because I understand the work ethic aspect of it, because yeah, she's famous, but she put in work. Like, it's not easy to make money. It's not easy to influence people to buy a product or whatever the case may be. So anytime that someone can literally set their mind something, manifest something, and make it happen, I can relate to them. So it's more like, damn, she did it, I gotta go harder, because now like, I see she can do it, I can do that too. And it's just, and it actually put another business that I have, like, in the process right now going in motion, because I'm like, I need a product. Like, I feel like that's how I'm gonna hit that million. I need a product. So
while we're on that, man, there's a lot of things I wanted to touch on. I think it's dope that you saw that and got inspired. And I think that's what successful people do. They see people do big things and they get inspired. But the other thing is, e-com is so powerful. And I was talking about this because, like, if you watch Boniface Oguntu or something, is his name, that guy is killing it. Like, but it's all e-com. And the way that I kind of got into e-com and I knew the power of it was of course watching Chris. But if you watch David Shan's podcast, he has a lot of people on there that are making a ton of money just doing e-com. And what makes e-com so powerful is the fact that you can sell a product to the mass public, right? And so before, you had to set up shop, get retail space, buy inventory, invest in marketing, get a business loan, do all these different things just to open a shop. Now you can literally
Drop
go
shipping.
and create a website, do drop shipping, do all these things, create a digital product for that matter, no overhead. And we could be selling directly to the market. So e-com is in a lot of ways the great equalizer. It allows us to open our own shop. They were able to price us out. You can't afford this rental property real estate. You can't afford this commercial real estate. You can't afford the thousands it's going to cost to get you to stock this store. You can't afford to hire staff. Either you're going to have to be there or your staff is going to be here. Now, people go on, they log in with their email and they check out themselves. E-com is self-checkout. Like, you don't have to be there and say, okay, well, let me ring you up. How much do you want? No, they check themselves out. And so I think that that is so powerful, and we have to be tapping into it. And ideally, we tap into it in diverse ways. So I don't want everybody saying, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to sell t-shirts, or hey, you know what? I think I'm going to sell shoelaces. Like, if you see somebody else there, just pivot and do something different, because we got to think community, not just my pockets. But we also got to still be tapping into e-com. So
no,
yeah.
and it's so like dope that you are talking about ecom, because I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Her name is Christiana Hurt. She's with I Am Wealthy College Kid. She's a part of my women's network, and I've actually grown like a relationship with her. And she does 7 figures in ecom. Like, that's what she does. She teaches people. She's literally created a program. Like, you can Google Wealthy College Kid. She created a program where she teaches drop shipping, eBay, everything, like literally everything across the board. And she has vendors list, like, and she's super dope. I'm actually going to put you on to her, Charles, so you can see what she does. But she literally just sent me a screenshot of one of her students. They did like 21K, like, from her course. Like, she had, like, you know, the way that you put out your that what people say about your course and everything, same thing with her. Like, she has a lot of people that have made a lot of money starting off just from her courses. And it's like super dope. It's a platform she created herself, and it's just to show millennials and everybody else, like, you can make money from your phone. Like, you don't need to have all this extravagant stuff going on. You literally can do all of that just from your laptop, your phone, and not even starting off with a ton of money either. So
right.
I'll definitely link you with her, because I think she'd be a cool person to like have on the podcast to talk about e-coms or whatever the case may be.
I always talk about how business closes the wealth gap, and people don't really realize why I say that. It's because they think that like a business is going to give you as much money as your job would. And it's not. It's probably going to give you like 10, 20 times what your job would give you. And so that's why it closes the wealth gap, because you can protest for $15 minimum wage, but that ain't going to close the wealth gap. That's actually might expand the wealth gap, because you're just going to be waiting around, not being productive. Business closes the wealth gap. And I need more people to understand that, because we need more business owners. That's all I got to say about that. Raphael, what's the next tweet, man?
Well, before we get to more tweets, speaking of products, Charles, you dropping a new product Friday?
It's lit. We're doing crisis money. It's something, it's a way that I've been investing for a long time. So I was able to do well with AMC stock. Everything that I bought pretty much during coronavirus time, I was able to profit on. So I bought Delta Airlines, I bought AMC, I bought Boeing, doubled my money. But that's just a strategy I've been employing for the longest time. So when Chipotle got hammered, I was able to swoop in. The stock was like $430. And so what I'm teaching people is like all the opportunities that people are looking over because it looks like scary stuff is actually what you need to be immersing yourself in. And so just kind of showing people what to look for, because every company that's getting hammered isn't a good company to get into. But if you know what to look for, then you can get some good deals. So looking forward to that. It might not be as quick as options money, because options allow you to make good money really quickly. But value investing, which is the strategy that I learned from Warren Buffett. Like, I got out there, undergrad degree in finance, all that stuff, working for Edward Jones, Series 7, Series 66, all that stuff. And I was finding that like all the stuff they're showing you how to make money with doesn't show you how to make big money. It shows you how to preserve your wealth, because we're out there working with people who already have money. And so I had to find ways for people who didn't have a lot of money to make money. And so I started doing more research and digging into that stuff and doing a lot of Warren Buffett reading, and actually went back and read Snowball and found out how he built his portfolio from the ground up. And then I started applying those same strategies to myself. So I just kind of try to do that for other people. And like, if I can expose you to as many different ways that work as possible, then I feel like I'm doing my job. And it's actually like a better way to do it. Because back in the day when I was working for those financial advising firms, like it just wasn't a way for me to help my people. It was really just a way for me to help the rich get richer. And so now I'm able to still use my education and my experience with a business that helps the everyday person get where they need to be. So
that's dope. I love what you do. Like I tell you all the time, like you're really awesome. Like I love it. It's just so cool.
Thank you.
And Michelle, you've got the time management course coming out too, right? Tell us about that.
Yes, finally. Finally. I finally mustered up the courage to be like, you know what, I'm putting this out. Because I started I started tweeting at like 6 a.m. and I'm getting a lot of traction. And I asked everybody, what is their goal? And everybody literally, maybe 1 or 2 people don't, but like everybody else is like, time. I don't have time. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not doing this. I'm not getting this done. And it's just like, it all goes back to you're not managing your time. You're not staying productive. You're not doing anything really. And that's why you're not getting results and you can't execute because you're not planning. So, and people just don't know how to do that. Like I asked somebody, I was like, do you time block? And she was like, do I what? I was like, you need my course. Like, it's okay. I got you though. Like it's coming. Don't worry.
Most people don't really know what time blocking is. That's something I learned when I was working at one of those firms. But before then, it was like a completely foreign concept. I went through college, never even knew what time blocking was. So that's interesting.
Time blocking, day theming, it's just the ways, everyone says time is money, and it is. If you're not utilizing your time correctly, you're leaving money on the table because you're leaving opportunity. So if you can knock down, and I said this the last time, if you can't handle a 60-hour work week in 40 hours, like why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to stop being unproductive? Why wouldn't you want to give yourself healthier habits and routines so that you can apply that to your business, to your daily life? You'll be a better husband, a better wife, a better mom, a better whatever, like, because you're opening yourself up to see what are you wasting your time on. And for me, when I first started doing it, I realized how much time I spent on social media that I didn't need to. So I was able to redirect and get more things done and have time left over for myself and just to chill, because doing so much, it burns you out. So it's great to hustle, but it's also really good to recharge.
Raphael, you need some product, brother. What are you going to launch next? What are you going to launch first?
I don't know.
What you need to launch is some Tweet Talk shirts. You need to launch some Tweet Talk shirts.
With some like dope, like,
yeah,
definitely.
Like where he just said bars, like you should put a shirt and it just like on the back, it just says like bars. Like
double down on the
bars.
Tweet Talk brand, man. I didn't know we had a website. I saw the website on the thing. I was like, that's kind of cool. I need to check this out.
Yeah, I need to do some more work on that this weekend.
That's the wave, man. You got to attach some product to your profile. That's how you get rich, man.
Services are good, but I'm sorry. If you look at anybody across the board that's made $1 million in minutes, look at Supercent with the makeup line. Look at the girl that just hit $1 million and she does organic skincare and she literally only has like 9,000 followers on Instagram. Look at what these people are getting rich off of. Yeah, services are great. However, if you're trying to put something out there that can residually bring you income that you don't have to constantly touch, get a product.
Right. You have to. I was thinking about that as I did a consult yesterday, and I have another consult this upcoming week or this upcoming Friday. And I was like, man, like this lady's going to pay me $250 to talk to me, but that's an hour of my day. I've had hours where I've made a lot of sales that were more than $250.
And it makes you start to think.
I didn't have to do no energy. Like if you think about it, a course is really just prepackaged consulting. Like you take what you're going to teach somebody on a 101, you package it up, and then you sell it to the market. And so all this time I thought Todd Consulting had to be one-on-one. Let me get to know you. Let me learn about you. Really, it's just like, no, let me package this up and then put it there. You can just pull it off, whatever you want, pull it off.
Exactly.
Anytime
you just said a whole word.
At 1 o'clock, they want to talk to you, 2 o'clock. Like Yeah, you don't got to be up, brush your teeth, nothing. Just getting paid.
Seriously. And it's very draining too. I don't know if when you do your, well, I do life
training.
coaching and business
Put a lot of
coaching.
energy
So
into that stuff.
yeah. And then, you know, sometimes some people are very demanding, and it's just, you got to kind of like mirror yourself sometimes to what they need, you know, like you're there to coach them. So I agree with you. If you can turn it into a product, just turn it into a product and sell it.
100%.
And
If you created a cleaning class coaching product course, I'll buy
I
it.
really can't stand you because I did, and you are going to buy it. So there you go.
Exactly.
Because that's what I'm, and then you know what I also did? Because this came to me because I was like, okay, so what if someone really, really, really wants to invest in themselves, but they're not, there's some people that are just not comfortable with paying for a coach or doing something like that. So I started a private Facebook group that is going to be a monthly subscription to where I can give that to people so that they have an option for them. If they're not comfortable with investing in coaching or in the package, because it's a large ticket number, then you know what? Here's something that's affordable monthly that you'll get value from, you'll get what you need, and I'll throw some perks in there and you'll be good to go.
And the crazy part about it is then you can launch at scale. I created the Tide Capital Investment Club. We had 300 people, but I ran into limitations. I was telling my wife this today. I ran into limitations where if you have an investment club, for first and foremost, they kind of cap you at 100 people. And then after that, you can't really actively promote it and market it. So they're holding back your money. And so then this time when I created the community and it's paid from jump. It might be low cost, but it's not free. And then since it's not an investment club, I can market it and I can advertise it. And so I had the investment club that had 300 people. Now I got the community that's 1,300 people, and they all pay me each month. Like, people think I make money off the course. I really make money off the community. Like, the community pays for everything. And so that's why I see people hating. I'm like, you don't even know what I'm doing. And then it's like you owe it to your people to carry it on. If I only teach you the course, but I don't actively talk to you each day and I don't have something, I'm kind of leaving you hanging. It's not fair to you.
No, and that's I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that's where I got the idea from you, where you had your investment club. And then I was wondering, like, the back end, because okay, if someone pays me to do a coaching session with me or to do coaching for their cleaning company, after a certain amount of time, like if they do my 4-week course, I offer them 60 days of like email correspondence, you know, after the fact, just to help them or whatever. But it's just like, what if the people, they still want that assistance, but they don't want to have to pay, you know, a consulting fee every whatever. No, you can just pay for a monthly membership subscription. You'll be in a group, not only with me, but with other cleaners as well that are in different states, different cities. So you're getting a networking experience, you're getting one-on-one with Coach Michelle, and also you're getting a lot of different resources. And from that point, it's just like, there's value in that. And a lot of the times the community is just adding value to each other. So it's like, you really don't have to do a ton of work.
And the crazy part about, and that's what I was going to say, like, another part of the reason why I did it is because I couldn't answer all those questions. It was just too many questions from too many people. So I said, hey, let me put you guys on a place you guys can answer your questions for each other.
And help each, and it's love.
And then what I did is I hired admins. And so I pay admins a good amount of money. And so now they're invested because they're getting paid. So they're putting videos in there, they're answering questions, and they serve as an extension as me. And so they keep this thing going. So if I can't be there at all times, I got somebody in there. And you know, the crazy part about it is the reason why I have this system is because I had a hater. A hater popped in. He was running into the chat and he was saying, oh, don't join this chat, join my chat. So I was like, what am I going to do? I got to respond. I had some admins. And so the next time that guy jumped in there, my admins were on it. They kicked him out so fast, deleted all his chat threads. And so people don't launch because they don't want to run into problems, not realizing those problems are just going to create more products. Those problems are going to create more profit. Those products are going to create more money for you. So you got to launch. You got to have people looking over your shoulder talking crazy, because now the next thing is only going to evolve and make you more money. But if you never launch, you can't make more money.
Because you don't know where your mistakes were. Like, prime example, Apple. How many iPhones do we have? How many Microsofts did they come out with? It's like, if those people just didn't get something off the ground, they wouldn't know what to fix. They wouldn't know what the people wanted. You just wouldn't know. And it's just that fear. It's that imposter syndrome. It's the fear, the FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of not knowing what's going on, what's going to happen. I think for me personally, my biggest thing is like, what if no one buys it? I put all this work into something that means a lot to me, because it's a topic that if I know if I struggled with it, someone is struggling with it. That's kind of where my mentality is. But it's just like, what if people don't perceive it? What if it doesn't help someone and they, instead of reaching out to me personally to see clarification, what if they want to bash me? And it's just like, you got to be prepared and you got to stay ready so you don't ever got to get ready.
And two things that I take from that. First is that's how I know a lot of us don't know business. When we see somebody launch something and the first thing we do is kill it. Like, bro, like they just are getting started. You can't look at Tulsa Real Estate Fund and say, bro, it's been 12 months. Why ain't we rich? Because you don't get rich in 12 months. And any rich person knows that. If you were an accredited investor, you would know the shit don't take 12 months. You don't build a fortune in 12 months. If you've built one, you know. And the other thing is that's why I don't put a lot of effort into things that I launch. As crazy as that might sound, I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to see if they're going to bite first. And if they bite, then I'm going to beef it up. And so I'm not going to waste.
I like that. And I'm actually going to, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to save that gem because it's just like, that's where a lot of my fear of putting it out comes out, because I'm like, what if they just don't like it? And it's just like, well, you're putting so much time into minimal detail on something that there's not everyone will like it. And that's what you kind of have to set yourself up to know. Like, you're going to have some people that are going to reject it. However, you're going to have a lot more people that are going to appreciate that you're doing something like that.
And that's why I say, like, people, they don't understand business. They criticize and they're very loud, but they don't understand how it works. They don't understand that you launch and then you iterate and then you iterate and then you iterate and then you iterate. And then by the time it's perfected, now you can charge $200, $300, $400, but you got to get it to market. There's so many people out there. You don't even, like, Chris put out a post today. He was talking about, like, y'all don't really understand how big the market is. Like, there are millions of people on social media. And so I'm like, if I only get 100 sales in a day, that might be 10 grand, but that's only 100 people. I got 77,000 followers.
There's a lot of people in this world though. Like, and remember, you have your followers and you have your affiliates and their followers and their followers. And it's just a trickle effect of people. So
there's so much money out there.
It's got to get that mind. It's really like mindset. You have to train yourself to take the bait and to take the negativity, but only focus on what's going to drive you and propel you forward. It's all a mindset thing.
And not only that, just as bad as there are people who are the basher, there's a bunch of people that love you. I've been watching, like, Jay Morrison is getting it right now. But there's still people who are like, Treff, we love Treff. And so, like, people are going to focus on the 5 to 7 bloggers. They're going to focus on the tone talks. They're going to focus on the event. But they don't realize those people who are proclaiming to be unbiased critics legit have an agenda. Tone talks can't see a Tulsa Real Estate Fund successfully exist, because that will kill everything he's worked for. His entire career is in reparations. His entire career is in we can't do it. So if we do it, what does that say about his entire career? There are people who have to see you fail. Because if they see you succeed, then they feel like they failed, because they can't even pivot. They wouldn't even know how to get started doing Jay Morrison level stuff. They're like, damn, I got to go take his academy now. I got to learn how to do it. I got to take his academy. But I wish we could just all see that we can potentially coexist together. Democrats and Republicans both exist. They're all getting money.
No, and it's the truth. And a lot of the times, and in the beginning, you said, like, women, we are very, like, headstrong on getting things done and getting them executed. However, you still find the ones that are very catty and just, it doesn't make sense. It's just like, their intentions are not pure. They're coming from a place of malice and, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? How's it working? Okay, sis, I see you, sis. And it's like, no, I no, you don't. You don't see me, because we don't operate on the same frequency right now. So, and it's just like, it's so crazy, because being in women, I have a whole women's network, and everyone's like, well, I don't like women empowerment. And I'm like, listen, I'm not here to empower you. I'm here to give you resources. I don't care what you do if you feel good, because I have to work when I don't feel good. So you need to work when you don't feel good. You're not always going to feel good. But if you have resources and you have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of or create with, then you can figure out a way. It's just all the fake rah-rah. People just need to understand collaboration will trump everything. If I work with you and you work with me, we're now merging networks. Your 77,000 and my 4,000 and his 7,000. that's all our network now, because we're working together. And somebody in those networks are going to need the services you provide, he provides, or just what I provide. But so many people are like, no, I need the spotlight. It's like, it's more about, for them, I'm being dead ass, it's more about fame. It's not about the notoriety. It's not about the legacy building. It's not about making sure that we can pay our bills and help the community. It's about who has the most clout, who can say they drive this, who has the bigger house. People are really looking at it the wrong way, and that's why society, I feel like, is the way that it is. It's about status.
I told my wife this morning, and she didn't really believe me, but I was like, I'm actually a better number 2 than I am a number 1. I just get forced into being in the number 1 role a lot, but actually
you're very alpha. Like, that's why.
Like, even like with Blacker Pockets, it's like Blacker Pockets wasn't about me getting the shine. It was about me giving the community the shine. And so, like, I just find that, like, if we start putting others first, we get a bag. I'm not over here talking about, look how much money I'm making in options. I'm like, look at how much money they're making in options. Look at what they're doing. Yeah. And then we all eat. And like, I literally, like, if people take my course and make $2,000 in the trade, I'm like, that's dope. Like, I'm happy. I'm not over here like, oh, I need to raise the price on this for $5,000. This is crazy. But I just feel like we got to take a community first approach. And then once we do that, then we all win. If I'm looking out for Raphael, and Raphael's looking out for me, and Raphael's looking out for Michelle, then none of us are going to fall. But we're too out here trying to look out for ourselves. And then while you're looking out for yourself, somebody's trying to chop you down. And then we all
too much energy. It's way too much energy. It's energy that's directed in the wrong way. You know, we need that energy to put towards working towards our projects, to put towards supporting other people, not to, you know, like with your tweets, most of your tweets are solid. Like, they give good information, good encouragement, but sometimes you gotta check people. No. But sometimes, see, the right business-minded people will appreciate the stuff that you put out. But sometimes you gotta let people know, like, why are y'all playing with me? Why are you playing with me? Like, don't do it. And it's just, you're going to get to a certain point. I already know it. And I think it's also because you're a man that people try you the way that they do, because, like, I don't know. I don't always see a lot of people coming at women the way that they come at you. I really don't. And there's women that are doing not what you're doing, but on the level of what you're doing. And it's just like, why do people try? I feel personally, people try men a lot harder than they do women. Yeah. Like, it's a lot more harsh.
Yeah. I don't know, but I know that a lot of them dudes ain't on my level, so I don't be tripping. They might think they're on my level, but they're not on my level, man.
Nah, I don't. They can't even, like, get it confused.
And I put out a tweet, and I was telling people, I was like, a lot of you guys don't know the history of the timeline, and so that's why you think that they are on my level. Because almost every single person I've put on in some capacity. Like, I was thinking about, like, maybe I should have screenshot a lot of these tweets, because I never forget I put someone in my podcast and, like, man, I want to appreciate you for exposing me to this side of Twitter. I didn't know this existed. I followed your stuff, and then you retweeted me, and I got all these followers. I'm like, bro, like, and now you coming at me? Now you are coming at me? All I did was show
they get that little bit of clout.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult working with certain people, because you put people on and they start thinking they are you. And that's why I never do that to Chris. I always show Chris love. I'm always going to put Chris above me, because what is the very first chapter? I think it's the first chapter. The very first chapter of 48 Laws of Power is never outshine.
I was just about to reference it.
Never outshine the master.
Right. So it's like, Chris is the master, and I'm going to give him that. But the thing is I can't lose, because I'm still connected to the master. I can't lose. But if I'm out here working against the master, you know what's going to happen? The master going to start working against me. And I always tell people, like, y'all, I'm a dope ally, but I'm not a good enemy, because I will outwork you, and I will outwork you at a qualified level. So
it's so funny. Like, yes. And that's the truth. It's just like, I'm gonna give you the game. But the moment that you try to, like, cut me down, man, like, don't play it. And there's certain people, and certain people, meaning I have been that certain person. Someone tried me, and I opened up a business in their industry, and I showed them how to run their business. Like, don't play with me, because I will literally open up a business and doing what you do, take your clients, and then hand them back to you, because I'm gonna shut the bitch down just to show you that this is what I do. Like, don't play with me.
You said put some respect on my name.
Respect on my name.
But you know, yes, also funny. The funny thing about that is I was thinking about that today, and about the whole put some respect on my name. And I was like, bro, it's like, you guys are out here bashing Baby. This dude is dumb rich. This dude created a business from nothing. People really got to start putting a lot more respect on African-American business owners because we built this shit from the mud. We built this shit from nothing. I'm not over here operating from parents who just gave me a loan. I'm not over here operating on parents who could even tell me how to do this stuff. I figured it out myself. I funded it myself. That's
self-made. That is self-made. Yes. And you look at me, I'm very much self-made. I started from nothing. Like, don't play. And it's true. Put respect on my name. And, you know, a lot of times, like, I don't battle with people. No. And it's really petty and I'm working on it. But when someone tries to come for me, I send them a job application because you know why? you have so much time on your hands. You clearly are not making money and you're hungry. Right. So you're angry. So you're coming at me. See, I don't do beef. I'm going to send you a job application. You could either, what you want to do? You want to cook, clean? You want to be an admin? What do you want to do? Because I got it all. I can serve it up and give it to you right now. Like, what's good?
That's great. That's a Tweet Talk meme. And the header of the show is put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on my name.
Do it.
I think I actually did not see a lot of the hate that was happening last week, but what bothered me is the head people that I did see were like former guests on your podcast. Man.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, I saw one. Somebody act like you tweeted something.
Don't even say the name. Don't even say their name.
I'm not going to say the name. I don't remember their name. But I remember he tweeted something out and he was like, some guy was like, yeah, I remember when I tried to challenge you and it didn't work. Like he bought your course or something and he tried to go open up his own course and it didn't work out I don't know what happened. But I was like, oh my, when someone could come on the internet, go to the person that they try to play and be like, yeah, bro, I tried it and it didn't work.
Yeah. Something that's very important is a lot of people think that I'm successful because of something like one idea when they don't really realize that like, no, like all the 3 years I've been doing this, just giving value, creating podcasts, creating blogs, tweeting, giving out game. That's what allowed this to happen. So if you pop up and think you're going to just create a product and challenge me based on a product, you're going to lose because it's not the product. It's the process. Everything I've been doing for the last 3 years and 4 years and 5 years, and just the way that I do things. Like that is why Blacker Pockets is what it is and why Thai Capital has become what it's become. Because I took all the energy I was putting into Blacker Pockets and I moved on over to Thai Capital, which is dope because I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm not over here like, do you think it's okay if I do this shirt? Like that's another perk of being business owner. I don't want somebody looking over my shoulder, telling me what I can and can't do, what I can and can't post, what I can and can't say. I decided this is what I'm going to put out there. And so that's what I put out there. And I'll let the market determine what's hot, not some random person who's had some success in a different lane. So they think they're the end all be all to all things. And a lot of people become successful and they think their way is the only way. They think their process is the only way that it can work. And then I realize like, no, there are other ways. And this is why I said, like, you can't tell your parents everything, especially if you have successful parents. They think their way is the only way. They think go to school, get a job, buy a home. They think that's the only way. Anything that doesn't look like getting a job and buying a house, nah, you can't do that, fam. And so sometimes you got to just move in silence and do what you got to do. But it is what it is,
that's
man.
True. Yeah.
So funny. I didn't know if we are going to be able to top. I was like, man, like we'll see what happens with this episode, but it's been very good. People are going to get a lot of value out of this one.
I hope so.
This is a monster episode already. And it's funny you said about having the idea. I was watching the Master P interview on Drink Champs. That's a real good one. And he said something about, we scared. It reminded me of our last episode. He was talking about we scared to put stuff out because of what other people will say. And he said, man, don't worry about it because they're going to steal it anyway. And he said, you worry about one idea. He said, if you only got one idea, you ain't got no money.
Man.
Like, nothing. You got one idea? Is that all you got? You ain't going to make no money no how.
My favorite meme is that Master P is who we think Jay-Z is. And it's so powerful. But the crazy part about it is if you look at Dame Dash and Master P have a lot of similarities because they really do this. Like,
right.
It's one thing to really do it. It's another thing to just float on top of it. I forgot who said it, but he was like, it's a difference between being the boss and being the face of an organization. And a lot of people are the face of an organization. You know who's the face of an organization? And a lot of times it's just Jay-Z. Jay-Z, Brooklyn Nets, he was the face of the Brooklyn Nets. He wasn't actually the boss, the owner, but he walked around as though he was the face of the Brooklyn Nets. And it takes a different skill set to be the face of something as it does to build something. And that's why you have to key in. Whenever I hear whenever I hear Tyler Perry, Master P, Dame Dash, people on that level, I key in. I'm not too big on that one guy who I forget his name, the guy who bought the TV stations, because I still think he's a face.
Oh,
Byron Allen, like I don't really like his politics too much, and I feel like he didn't actually build it as much as he bought it, which means he, in a lot of ways, it's just the face of financing. And if you have bank backing you, then you aren't really the owner. You're kind of just like
the
steward.
You're not independent.
Like, you're not independent. You're like, yeah. So
you're the puppet.
Independent.
Dame always says you got to be independent. You got to put up your own money. To be a boss, you got to put up your own money.
Own money.
Dame always says.
Yes.
Always says that.
Yes. Listen to Dame. Listen to Master P. It'll take you far. Because a lot of us are more Dame and Master P than we are Jay-Z. It's going to take a lot of us aren't talented at that level. A lot of us aren't Beyonce level talent. And so you can't really look at how Beyonce makes her money and say, I'm going to be Beyonce. Like Beyonce is like a one-of-a-kind talent. Like, let's look at somebody who really built it. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know there's some people out there who have done it. Like the lady who owns BET or owned it, or she either owns it or she owned it, Sheila Johnson. Like, she's a boss.
Yeah.
Looking at them, not necessarily Beyonce.
Her
Sheila
talent
Johnson
definitely has taken her. And a lot of people say, well, oh, you have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. No, you don't. You do not. You don't. Because Beyonce does not do her own hair. She doesn't do her own anything, I'm sure. So that's something I say all the time. I don't have the same 24 hours as someone else. Listen, in my 24 hours, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a counselor, I'm a this, I'm a that. And a lot of those jobs I do by myself. So we don't. When I have Beyonce's money, then yes, me and Beyonce will have the same 24 hours, but I do not. So. And
that's a beautiful thing, because I can't wait to the point when I don't have to do any of that stuff. Like, it's one thing like to not have to like clean your house, but imagine you don't got to go grocery shopping, you don't got to wash your cars, none of that. Y'all don't do anything. All I do is wake up and get money. That's all I do. And that's kind of where I've gotten the business to. It's like, I don't want to have to run these ads. You run these ads for me. I don't want to have to. I already don't respond to DMs, but like, I want to be able to. That's honestly, that was the appeal to me of business ownership. I always tell people, like, the money was one thing, but I always wanted to be the person that had people work for me. I always wanted to be the person that like made money off of other people's labor and efforts. Like, that's dope to me. When you can be on a boat still making money, but it's not like the business hasn't stopped. The business shouldn't run if I'm there. It should run whether or not I'm there.
And I think as a business owner, like, starting off, we love the process, but we get to a certain point after we've built enough brands and we've done enough, a lot of different things. We get to the point to where we're like, I don't want to be in it. I want to be above it and around it and creating more and seeing what other things can I learn, or what other places can I travel to tap into that network. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm setting myself up to where, I don't have to have my hands all the way in the cleaning business every single day. I don't have to have my hands, but I know them deposits are hitting. I know everybody's where they need to be. I know that things are still moving full circle. So that's my goal for this year and for next year, is to automation. I want to train multiple me's so that if I want to be across the world somewhere with my kids in the Sahara Desert, I don't know, doing God knows what, that I still know that my coinage is coming through. Like, that's just how I want it to be. So.
And one thing that's dope, and Dantes, he mentioned this, is he said you kind of in the beginning have to be able to do those things. So a lot of people, they want to skip steps. They're like, I don't want to build a website. I want to pay somebody to build my website. I don't want to do my social media content. I want to pay somebody to do my social media content. His theory is you should train yourself to do those things for a few different reasons. First, you'll know how to do them. So if anybody leaves, you can always step in. The other is you'll know what it's really worth, so you can't be taken advantage of. And the dope part about it is when you are that person, people can walk. You're not beholden to them. Imagine building up this great business and then somebody's like, well, you know, if you don't got me, you don't got nothing. Like, they could potentially cripple your whole business. But if you know how to step in and make it happen, at least in happenstance, like in the meantime, while you find somebody different, then you kind of SOL. And I had to do that. At one point in time, I had to do my own podcast editing. At one point in time, I still do my own website, but like social media content, all this other stuff, like I know how to do it. And it was just so dope to see somebody who's so successful, so young, kind of parrot that. And so we all learn from each other. We're all just sharing content and then getting gems from each other and sharpening each other. And that's why these podcasts and social media is so dope. Like, we control the media. If we want to get Michelle on the internet, we put Michelle on the internet. You don't got to write a letter say, I think you should get Michelle on. And we got to wait 2 years. And now we finally get Michelle on. No, we did it. It's done. We're going on to the next one. Like, I think it's just so dope.
And it is really dope because, you know, if you were to ask your audience, what are some of the issues you face being an entrepreneur? They don't know where to start. So creating these outlets and being able to voice our opinions, our transparency on the way that we ran our businesses and the way that we kind of guide through life in these moments, it's showing other people like, listen, I didn't have a huge marketing budget to come out. And guess what? I still made X amount of dollars. I didn't have this, but I still did that. You know, a lot of people are like, well, if I don't have a coach, or if I don't have this, or if I don't read this many books and do this many podcasts, listen, books, podcasts, coach, they're not going to do the work for you. Unless you are literally paying someone to open up a business and hand it to you, you have to put in the work. And, you know, and like you said, knowing how to edit your podcast and knowing how to do the websites and knowing how to do graphics. Listen, I can run every aspect of my business. Whether it comes down to the tax office and doing taxes, whether it comes to doing corporate taxes, whether it comes to doing graphic designs, whether it becomes to editing a podcast, I do everything. Because there will never be a day in a business owned by Michelle Welch that someone will say that if I'm not doing this for you, your business won't run. No, ma'am. No, that's not how it works. You do what I tell you to do, and that's how it works. And that's just, because I've been in that position where, you know, if I had a service within my business that I outsourced to somebody else, they felt like they had me by the balls. Listen, you don't have anything because I'll go out and buy the machine and train someone how to do your job. Like, don't play. And it's just, that's what it is. And there's so many times where I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. It's just too much. Listen, you did not come this far to only come this far. You're going to learn how to get on iMovie and put some shit together. You're going to learn how to do it. And that's what I do now. Like, if there's something I don't know, I'll learn it, but I can pay someone else to do it. But listen, just know that you don't have there's no palms over here for me to cut you off. Like, that's just what it is.
I feel like that's the mindset of a boss. Like, a mindset of a boss is like, we don't get it done, period. And that's why I was talking about like Elon Musk and Dana White. Like, if people have been keying in on very successful people, they're not sitting back and just letting life happen for them. They're happening to life. And so Dana White literally went out there and created like, I think he did like a UFC match with no people watching or something, kind of like what WWE, and that's another WWF. They're like, we ain't stopping this. We're going to keep it going. We'll test our fighters. We're going to keep it going.
Oh my God, they did WrestleMania with nobody.
Yeah, and like, that's the thing. And the crazy part about it, it's just a mindset. And a lot of people aren't going to get it. And that's okay. My problem is when they start insulting people and they start saying, oh, this is so ignorant. Like, when did you become the coronavirus expert? When did you become
that tweet? I saw so many people coming at you. Everybody was coming at you because you said you're not going to sit and let Rona put you out. No. Right. Now, that doesn't mean I'm out here catching it and giving it to people. That means that I'm going to get a Rona check and I'm going to figure it out.
And I think that is the mindset that it requires. And it's kind of dope to see the divide. You got those of us who are going to get it by any means. Because if it's not Rona, what is it next? Is it racism? Is it oppression? Is it sexism? Is it the wage gap? Like, no, like, I could sit around here and I could complain about the wage gap, or I can create my own wage. I'm never going to let anything stop me. And I don't care what form it comes in. We got to get it. If we don't have the ability to create this podcast through Zoom, we're going to find a different way. And that's what's dope. I only key in on bosses. I don't key on employees. When I'm at a job, I'm not looking at my peers. They ain't my peers. I'm looking at the boss. I told somebody, the owner of the firm bought a $12 million house. And everybody's like, oh my God, he need to give us raises. I was like, I'm just looking at how I get a $12 million house. Like, how do I do it?
Yeah, like you're being negative. I'm trying to be where he's at right now. Like, show me, what did he do? What steps did he take? How can I how can I take his blueprint and make it better? And it's a mindset thing. And it's like, how bad do you want it? How bad are you going to work for it? And is this something that you really want? Because I feel like that comes to the core of it. Do you want this lifestyle because you see other people have it? Or are you really out here trying to show people like, you can get this work with courses. You can get this work with doing options. You can get this work with flipping houses. What do you want to do? And just being resilient, being undeterred, just understanding that, you know what, there's going to be haters. There's going to be people that are going to steal from you. There's going to be people that are going to try and tank your business. But guess what? I'm still standing. I'm still here. And you knocked me down so I could build myself up better again. You know how many friends I had that made fake Instagram and Facebook pages of my cleaning company to take my clients? Like, seriously, like, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself, because now I'm going to come out and I'm going to smash you. And I'm going to make you regret ever even thinking you could touch my business. And it's not going to be me coming at you. I'm going to kill you with success, because I'm going to show you that you tried to stop me and all you did was make me better.
All of this is motivation. Like people like I put out a tweet and I was like, I don't even know how to come at everybody else because I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on what am I doing next? What am I building? What's my next product? How am I going to strategically market this? And so like they come at me and I market harder. They come at me and I sell harder. I'm not coming at them. Like I get nothing at coming at you. Like I don't get my kicks and giggles out of bringing other people down. I'll take that same energy and I'll put it into blowing up even harder.
And that's the beauty of it all. Because it's like they want that reaction. And it's true. The best thing is no reaction, because then they're sitting there talking to themselves and it's like, are you finished or are you done? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Are you going to buy the course now? Because it's on sale. Like, what are you doing?
Meek Mill said, hit him with finesse and kill him with success. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Master P also said, get you some product. He's always saying that you got to get you some product.
You got to have a product.
Michelle,
Michelle,
yeah. And Michelle, you also have an ebook, the Ticking Time Block.
Yes.
So
that's exciting.
How come you didn't launch that?
Because I'm scared. I was scared. I'm not scared no more, but I was scared.
Right.
And it's okay. So Charles said it in the beginning, like a lot of people don't know what time blocking is. So when you introduce something new to people, you're either going to get people that like it or don't like it because they don't understand it. You know, ignorance is, I don't think it's bliss, but people just are uneducated on things. And it's like when you try to teach them and they feel like you're like, why do I need this? Like, what is this good for? Like, it's because you can make more money. It's because I have proven strategies that this is going to work for you. And I feel like sometimes if people can't see something before they pay for it, they feel like there's no value in it. So, however, they're going to get this value on Friday. That's what I know.
They don't get this. They don't get their work.
Yeah,
you know Loaded Lux, Raphael?
The name is familiar.
What do you need?
Loaded Lux.
He's a battle rapper from New York.
Oh, right.
You would have known him.
No, yeah, I do know the name, but I don't watch that much. I don't watch it very often.
I watched that thing. It was a very famous battle.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
Now I know the name.
It's all
no
good.
Problem. It's all good.
It's not the first time we had a special guest on the podcast.
Yeah, this is my youngest. So.
How old is he? Like 3?
Yeah, he just turned 3 on April 4th.
Okay. Welcome to the Tweet Talk podcast.
Say hi. Hi. These are millionaires in the making. They're about to come out with their own clothing line.
Speaking of millionaires in the making, so Michelle, you're also launching the Millennial Millionaire Group.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that. So Millennial Millionaire Group was a group that was created by me and 3 other of my colleagues, and what we wanted was a place for Black entrepreneurs to come together and support each other and just really be that bridge. Like, we all each do something different. So somebody one of the ladies is a mental health therapist. She owns her own practice and does a lot of private stuff. Another one is Tracy. She's my business bestie. She owns a cleaning company in Texas, as well as she does house investments. She's opening up a lash bar in Miami. A lot of different things like on the entrepreneur side. And then we have a homeboy, Michael. He's an artist. He's an entrepreneur. He does Airbnbs. He does real estate. So we all are like bosses in our own right within our own fields. So we wanted to come together and create a network where we can mentor other minority entrepreneurs, give them opportunity, give them grants, partner up with businesses to where they can, donate their services so that we're able to empower our community and just give those resources, have people go live in the group and really speak life into people, because a lot of times people just need encouragement. They need to see that others are doing it. They need to feel like they're in a community versus feeling like they're in competition with people. So we created that network, and our first event that we had, and one thing that we did was we made a pact that if anyone had something that was launching or going on, we would be there for each other. So Michael actually opened up an art gallery in Chicago, and I don't remember exactly what part it was in, but it was the first Black-owned art gallery. And we surprised him. He didn't even know we were coming. And we just walked through the door, and he was like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then he was just like, and we were all there for him. And it was such an amazing moment to see the support. Sometimes people just need that support. So really dope. And we plan on doing that on a larger scale. So
I like it. That is cool.
So I'll tell you this much. Me and Charles will be launching an ebook for the next 2 weeks called "Don't Be a Little Bee." Put that out there.
Man, I gotta write that. It's so, yeah, got to.
We will be putting that out in the next 2 weeks or so. Don't be a little bee. Start a little business. So Charles, you said folks really think I'm mean, but I'm just focused. That is the reason why I have low tolerance for people trying to shake me from what I'm doing, and why I have low tolerance for jokes and constant disagreement.
Yeah, man. People have been talking about Michael Jordan a lot. They've been talking about how Michael Jordan's mentality, people thought he was like a jerk for so long, and really he just knew what he wanted. And the same thing can be said about Kobe. People will say Kobe's a bad teammate, he's this, he's that. But really, he just knew what he wanted, and he wasn't going to let your feelings get in the way of it. And so a lot of times I run up against opposition on Twitter, not so much in real life, because quite honestly, I don't share my thoughts in public. If I have a conversation with you in public, it's going to be more so trying to find agreement, because I want it to be a decent conversation. I don't want it to be me just bashing you over the head with my views. Twitter is probably the only place people really get my views, and it's not even because I'm trying to share them with them individually as much as I'm talking to myself. I'm just getting thoughts out of my head. And so what'll happen is I'll say something that could be borderline offensive, and people will get mad. But my goal isn't to be PC. My goal is to win. My goal is to get wealth. My goal is to establish freedom. My goal is to make my family's life comfortable, not to make you happy, not to make you like me. In real life, the conversations are going to make you happy and make you like me. But on Twitter, I'm saying what I got to say. And the crazy part about it is in real life, all my moves are still based on my thoughts. So I'm going to still move based on my thoughts. You just might not know what my thoughts are. And so I have a lot of cousins, a lot of uncles and aunts, and they'll be like, "Man, Charles, you're doing so many dope things. This is great." But I'm like, y'all don't want to do what I'm doing though. Y'all don't really want this. Y'all say y'all want the result, but y'all don't really want this. Y'all don't want the stuff that I don't do, the places that I don't go, the people that I avoid, the shows I don't watch, the TV things, the music I don't listen to. That is the actual process of getting this. And so I would just say people will see me lash out or block people or cut people off. And it's not, I've said it before, it's not because I dislike you. It's because I am focused. And so when I heard Kanye say that, I was like, it's so funny. It's we aren't mean. If you look at Kobe post-retirement, he's a dope dude. He shows up, he's shaking hands, he's slapping backs, because it's not about that at that point, but I'm running a different race. I'm running the business race and I'm still going. So it's like, I'm still in the thick of this. So if you come against what I'm actually building, you might get struck down. And it's not because I dislike you. It's I just dislike that idea.
Cool. So, Michelle, I want to ask you about this one tweet before we start wrapping up, because I'm not sure what it's about. You said on a tweet, I've already started planning my housewarming party. I want a big ass table with a crab boil.
Oh my God.
Is
What
this
does that
like
mean?
a dream of yours? Yeah, like is this a dream of yours or something?
No, so hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. No, it's not a dream of mine. What it is that I moved into back with my parents when tax season started to help me out with my boys, and then Rona hit. So like my plans of moving back out in April kind of got shook. So me and the boys are moving in July, and I am obsessed with seafood. Like I love crab legs. They're so good. So I was like, okay, when I have my housewarming party, I just want a big table filled with seafood. Like I want like a huge spread of crab legs and corn and like everything. So when you walk into my house and you bring me my presents, like you can just eat the crab legs and just have a good time. So I love food. I love food a lot.
I thought it was more like of a you had a vision and you were just trying to bring it to pass, but it's all cool.
No, it was just about food and me being a fat ass.
That works. All right, so one last tweet from each of you. I'll let you guys comment. Charles, you said, let me just get them both up before you guys comment. Charles, you said, how are you going to generate sales if you don't put anything out there? And Michelle, you said, people only know what you offer if you tell them or show them.
Man, I took that quote from somebody. And that's what makes it even doper, because it wasn't my original thought. It was something that I got from somebody. I don't know who it was, but I absorb a lot of content. And he said it, and it was so true. It's like, keeping it 100, we make money by selling stuff. Like Chris said it himself. He was like, you either sell something or you work for somebody who sells something. And so when I realized that, I was like, you're only going to make money by continuing to put stuff out there. Like, you don't make money by sitting back waiting on making money. You make money by putting products to market. The crazy part about it, and another thing that makes e-com dope, is I was in downtown LA and I saw somebody out there with a table selling their face masks. And I was like, I never wanted to be that guy. I never wanted to be the person sitting on the corner, because it's kind of embarrassing. But e-com allows you to be on the corner with your table making money without being on the corner making money. E-com also allows you to make money from people who don't want to talk to you. Some people don't want to talk to you for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't want to make it seem like they need help, because that is a humbling process in itself. So a lot of people won't come to you and say, you know what, I need you. And so you can make money from those people. Another is that some people just aren't social people. And so what I found is, like, back in the day, I used to do my business, and I would actually, people would DM me for more information. Like, that's so stupid. Like, don't send people to your DM, send people to your website, link in bio, or that kind of stuff. I've made that mistake, and it's just, then you can't make money unless you are up to answer those DMs. I used to literally be on my phone every day answering DMs. It's a holiday. I'm doing an LLC promo. So if I'm not in my DMs, I'm not making money. Now I just look at the Twitter notifications. I'm like, okay, bing, 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 cool. So that's one thing that Chris told me. Yeah, you can still make money doing it, but you can make so much more money because the world is bigger with people who just want to go to your website and just click buy and get a download for whatever price you have it at. So that is where I'm at. And I'm at a point now where it's like, what can I put together to kind of kill these student loans? I got 6 months to kill my student loans. But the crazy part about it is I'm not doing it with working income. Because if I were to say, let me pay off my student loans with working income, the numbers don't add up. But if I can say, let me put together a product and then sell that 100 times to pay for law school and undergrad, like, that's a lot easier to do in the remaining 120 days we have left in the year. Like, you could do that. It's probably more than 120. It's probably like 180. You got 180 days to make 180 sales. Do you think that's possible with 700 or 77,000 followers? I think so.
By not sending them to your,
Definitely.
I just wrote that down, that gem, not sending people to your DM. I'm actually probably going to go live tomorrow and talk about that, because that's true.
Yeah.
That's an issue that I have. My DMs are filled with like everything. So it's like, if I'm then now sending people that I want their money to my DMs, I'm not going to sit there and go through all of that, because you don't know what you're getting. And that's time that you're allocating towards something, when if they just was a streamlined process of them to buy, go, submit a contact form, submit a survey, whatever the case that they need to submit, you're now making that process longer. You're now having to conversate with someone in your DM. You're now having to see what is it that they need and answer their question, just to get them to even click on the link that you're going to put in the DM for them to get to your product. That's golden right there.
And that's even if you might not even be that, like, you might not be the best conversationalist. Like, you might not answer their questions how, or they might ask you those questions that are like questions that kind of get the information they want, when they could just buy the course or buy the information and get the information they needed. So yeah, I've learned that. And I mean, I've done it both ways. I think in the beginning, maybe DM business might be for you, but once you can cross that threshold, Gumroad is great, because if you notice on Gumroad, they make it easy for people to pay you. It's not like pay now. It's literally, it says, I want this. Like, people are going to click that all day. Like, I want this. Like, okay, like that, you got to like make it easy for people to give you money. And that's where I'm at now. Like,
make it easy for people to give you money. Bars.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
said people only
go ahead.
know what you offer if you tell them or show them. Go ahead.
And that's true. I mean, nobody would know what Todd Capital was if he didn't come out and put out what he does. Nobody would know who I am Michelle Welch is and my brand if I didn't brand myself as the momtrepreneur, and I have kids and I'm a single mom and I own these businesses, and you're going to buy my services and you're going to listen to what I have to say. Nobody would know. If I didn't decide to step out on faith and tell my story and, you know, sell my businesses and allow people a glimpse into my life, they wouldn't trust me. There would be no credibility. What makes me different from the million other coaches that there are, or business owners that there are? There's tons of single mothers. What sets me apart from somebody? It's the fact that I open my mouth and I allow people to see my process. I'm allowing people to understand, why do I do the things that I do and how do I work in the way that I work? People only know I'm putting out a time management course because it's being told. So, and that's a big issue. It's like, when people are coming out in business, they're like, well, I don't have clients, I don't have this. Well, you're not marketing yourself because you're not getting enough likes on pictures. You don't want to get on video, and you don't want to do lives because you're camera shy. Okay, well, are you money shy too? Like, what's the problem? Like, you need to do whatever it is you need to do for yourself, whether it's talking to yourself in the mirror every day, whether it's sitting for 5 minutes prior to you going on live and recording yourself speak, or whether you're on live and you're just looking at yourself the entire time and not worrying about anything else. You got to overcome yourself, and you have to tell people about you. People only know what you tell them. When you get into a relationship, when you're building a friendship, people only know the version of you that you speak on. So it's the same with your business. People will only know the services you offer if you tell people. And when you start talking about it enough, you're going to get attention. People are going to want to know what's coming out of your mouth. Whether you get 1 like, 2 likes, 5 likes, keep putting your content out there. Keep putting yourself out there. Because if the people that you're around and telling things to, they're not grasping it, those are not your people. That is why it's so important to know who your customer avatar is. Know what you want your customer to look like. Where do they work? Where do they shop? What do they do? How are you, like, that's what you need to know. My person is a lawyer. He makes this amount of money. He has a wife. He has kids. Narrow that down. Understand who it is you're trying to market to, because everybody is not your client. Everybody doesn't care what you're doing. There's certain people that it will resonate with them. They'll understand it, and you can move forward. Get yourself out there, promote yourself. Even if you feel stupid, who cares? Who are you here to impress? You're not here to impress anybody. You're here to do what you love to do, make money while you're doing it, and inspire others to do the same. That's it.
100%.
That's it. And with that, we will wrap it up. And you can follow us on Twitter. Follow me, Raphael, at Work Money Life. Follow Charles at Todd Billion. That's 2 D's. And you better know how to spell billion. Follow us on Instagram at Tweet Talk Podcast. Follow Charles on Instagram at Todd Billion again.
I changed it, so it's
yes,
uniform.
you did change it on me. Yeah, man. At Todd.capital. at Bless a Black Man. And of course, we have our special guest, Michelle Welch. Follow her on Twitter at _Coach Michelle. That's Michelle with 2 L's and an E and an N. You can find her on Instagram. I am Michelle Welch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you can find her at www.elephantelite.com.
Or actually,
also,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. You can actually follow me, find me as well as IamMichelleWelch.com. I put my website back up, so.
Nice.
Yep, I was just about to say that too. IamMichelleWelch.com. No problem. It's all good. It's all good. Make sure you follow all of us. Make sure you get the options trading workshop. You can find that at toddcapital.co. All of these links will be in the show notes. Easy to find. Hustle for your last name.
Everybody got the merch.
Welch Enterprise. Yep. Yes.
Be sure to,
and also,
be sure to get
Raphael. Stop looking for jobs and start looking for customers, Raphael.
All right, man.
Boom.
All right, man. This guy.
Episode Hank Aaron. Episode Jerry West. We out.
Thanks, guys, for having me. You guys are dope.
Thanks.